Hey, what's going on guys? It is Nathaniel, and on this video I'm going to be showing you exactly how we built essentially about a $2 million business in the span of 22 days. Okay, I'm going to break this down for you. Now that is 2 million Australian. It is about 1.5 million USD. Okay, so before working with this partner that I'm going to show you step by fucking step of how we scaled this motherfucker pretty fucking high just in the span of 22 days, and how we're going to scale this month, probably about $500,000 to $600,000 USD cash collected. Let me break down the numbers for you. So as you can see here, we did $124,000 revenue. Okay, now this is just on this dashboard. There is a lot of sales, which you will see in a second, which didn't actually go onto the dashboard because of system errors on our end. Okay, but again, just going straight off the dashboard, we did about 124,000.4 in revenue. And in cash collected, we did roughly about $95,000 on this board, but we broke well over $100,000 cash collected. Okay, now again, if you times that by 12, it's about $1.5 million. And then if you put that into my currency, which is Australian, it's about $2 million plus every single year. And this is off our worst month ever. Okay, it is literally never going to be this low again. This partner was doing about $20,000 cash collected every single month. He was working with different people prior, and they just weren't able to really do anything with what he had. Now, I was able to do this, okay, while running another info product in the Ecom space, while running another info product in the modeling space. This was their landing page before. This was their landing page within the month when we built it. Okay, now we did all of this, all those things, all those numbers that I just showed you, all these numbers, okay, these websites, landing pages, all within the same month. Okay, you can see here, this was them prior, before working with us, and then this is theirs now. And again, this is literally just one of the many things of which we did. I'm going to be showing you literally everything. We partnered with 4 new businesses last month. We hired 9 new sales reps. Okay, we built 12 landing pages, and we created 16 VSLs plus last month. And again, I'm literally going to be pulling behind the fucking curtains and then showing you sort of everything that we did. It's a little bit scattered around, but bear with me because you're going to learn some shit you just won't learn anywhere else. Let's fucking get into it. Okay, first things first that we do every time we work with a brand new partner, which I recommend you to do the same thing, is have some organization within your team. Okay, because what I realized before having this is that it is a fucking hassle, right? And you really got to buckle down on this because, as we do the same thing every time. Let's say you run an agency or whatever it is, and you work with, multiple people, you're essentially doing the same thing. So you're thinking, okay, it's all in my head. Why do I need to have it down? Why do I need to organize? Because we can just do it. Well, that's not the case when you work with many, okay? And you're working at a level of this. Okay, I forgot to mention, by the way, this was a 520% increase of revenue within the first 22 days. Okay, so first thing that we do is we go into Asana. Okay, now we've got a template for this, and we literally just put down what needs to be done by each person a part of my team at Dynamis. Okay, currently, well, on this offer, we had my CSO, sales manager, and systems and automations, and me. And obviously the sales reps. Okay, now we can just kind of, take a little bit of a look at what we did. This was all done within the first 7 to sort of 10 days working with the partner. Okay, and I'll just kind of break it down. So schedule a call with the assistant and funnels guy. I wanted all the tracking sheets, learn more about the offer, set up the new Slack, hire the closer and dialer, make the email sequences in ConvertKit, tell me more about the actual DHL data, make the VSL, make the post-booking page and VSL, export all the emails, make the FAQ videos, absolutely everything. Okay, so this is the first thing that we do. We organize, and I recommend you do the same. Okay, and the second thing is that with each partner that I work with, I create a full offer doc. Okay, now essentially on this offer doc, it'll literally have everything about that offer that we need. Okay, and this is more for the partner side. Okay, so my partners will have this document and they will be able to keep track of what they need to do, etc., etc. So we created this full offer doc, right? Everything here is exactly what we needed to do and exactly what we needed them to do. Okay, you can see here we've got the VSL script that I had made, the FAQ videos done, post-booking page VSL done, low ticket downsell VSL that I've done. We did this all within the first sort of 3-4 days. We redid the offer. I have all the websites here, content strategy. So we went from having no strategy. Okay, we went from kind of posting a bunch of those music motivation videos, which everyone loves to post, to actually posting strategic content every single day, stories, reels, the whole shebang, which I'll talk more about in a second. Webinar content strategy, that's how we're going to do very good numbers this month, because it is currently the 2nd of August, which is the 1st of August for my partner and my fellow team members, a part of Dynamis. And I will give you an update at the end of the month how we do. But content scripts, YouTube content, Instagram bio, webinar SOPs, webinar Telegram, webinar VSL, webinar scripts, 2 months plan, and 15K offer. Okay, now that's an offer that we are launching this month, which is $15,000. So if you're watching this and you are someone that works with other people, or you're in info, or you have an agency or something like that, my best piece of advice for you is stop putting so much effort. Well, don't stop, but you put so much effort into getting these clients, but you don't put any effort into actually retaining them. Okay, making sure that they stay, making sure that the service is good, and just making sure that the communication is over-delivered. Okay, because that's the key thing with the people that I work with. I genuinely give a fuck about the people that I work with. Okay, like I really, really do, especially this partner. Okay, as with all my other partners. Okay, so you need to show that care and show why they should stay with you. Because a lot of the partners that I work with, they were working with big agencies or big sales managers before working with me. Okay, a lot of the people that you watch that do quote unquote almost what I do, I normally take over their offer because they do a bad job. Okay, and that could happen to me if I wasn't doing a good job. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Okay, let's talk a little bit about VSL. Okay, the VSL landing page. When you want to make more, think about what is your customer's journey. Okay, what does it actually look like? What is the path of your customer journey? Okay, this is the quickest and easiest way to increase every single sales statistic that you have. Now I'm going to show you something. Okay, if we take a look here, right, you can see this was his landing page and it went on for a lot longer. This is just 2 screenshots. I probably could have got about 7. Okay, he's got this, okay, and a bunch of just, text like this down below. Okay, and then after about 2 minutes, this pop-up would come up. Okay, very, very, very bad. Okay, like extremely bad. It has an extremely bad heading. Okay, you can't see it here, but it's got an extremely bad heading. There is no direction. It's this example as well. If we take a look here, right? Aspiring models, we guarantee you will book your first international placement in 60 days of working with us, or we will do it for free until you do. Okay, compare that. Okay, I want you to think about if you are a model, okay, which is this person's, ICP, okay? The industry has changed. While most models spend years waiting to get noticed, our system gets you signed in front of top brands like Ralph Lauren in just 60 days. We're calling out how they feel in their industry, right? We're saying what they want, which is to get noticed, because that's just borderline what they want. That's what they want, okay? We bring up, a brand which is credible because one of the models here modeled for that person, so it's instant credibility. Right? And we say just in 60 days. You don't need to say, I will guarantee you make $1 million before. You want to know something funny? Is that the second that I stopped offering guarantees, the more money I made. And I'm talking about with Dynamis. Okay, which is Dynamis revenue. We partner with top businesses, creators, right? Our portfolio does over $50 million a year. I've got people making 4.2 million a month, some making 500 grand a month, 100 grand a month, whatever. I used to offer a guarantee when I first started way back. And I signed clients, but they were bad clients and they didn't make me a lot of money. As soon as I stopped that, that's when I started to attract the genuinely good ones. And it actually got to the point when I signed that 4.2 million guy, he literally told me, do not offer me a guarantee, right? When you're working with these people B2B, they don't want it. The thing that you can offer that nobody else does is fucking quality, and you show that in the video, the VSL, the script, the landing page, the images, whatever you have on your page. So, right, this is a really good comparison of how we could change a heading, okay? Another thing is the coloring, as these little details as well. Now I'm telling you this because I didn't take a screenshot of his heading, so I'm just going to use this as the example. For this heading, it's gold, okay? Before it was red, okay? Before the logo was this. I made this logo in Canva, okay? How much more quality is that? Gold, you think, okay, yeah, quality. Okay, you look at the actual video itself. Okay, again, the quality, I think this might be in his room somewhere, and then this is in a full production studio. Okay, we can take a look here. Right, it's quality. It's what you would think from a modeling company. Okay, you even look at the button. Right, schedule a call here, right? Instead of saying just schedule a call or book a call or fill out the application, right? You put something that relates to them that they would want, okay? I want to land more appointments. I want to scale my info product. I want to make 10 grand a month. I want to model internationally, right? You put what they actually want so that they can click it, yeah, I want to do X, Y, Z. Now, for our offers, which you'll see here, okay, so this landing page had bad heading. Okay, now a bad heading can mean a lot of different things. It can mean that it is too long. It can mean that the actual highlighting is terrible. It could mean that the font, right? Just use these as an example. This was built on, I'm assuming, ClickFunnels. This was built on Lovable, okay, by our systems guy. No direction, so there's literally no direction with the entire website at all. There's too much information, like it literally went on for a couple minutes. A pop-up, okay, that wasn't used, by the way, right? They weren't sending out emails, okay, which I'll talk about in a second because that's what we do. Coloring was all over the place. There was blue, black, red, fucking white, everything. You know what I mean? What's funny is that 70% of the people that I actually talk to and look at have something similar to this. So much so is that these two partners in two different complete industries had very similar websites, right? Like very similar. So chances are you've probably got something similar to this, okay? Now let's look at what we made them. This is it. This is literally the entire page, by the way. Like the entire page, right? Heading, short, sharp. Unlock the strategies, plays, and mindset that took me from broke to $5 million plus trading in just 3 months. Okay, I highlight the things that are important. Okay, we keep it on brand. It looks clean. It's aesthetically pleasing to look at. The next thing, right? You can see here, I've got step 1 and step 2. Okay, you can also see here, I've got it with this partner as well. And you will find with every website that is built by us, we do this, just like Charlie Morgan, just like the biggest guys in the fucking industry. Okay, now if we take a look here, he's got nothing and nothing. Okay, we want to be able to direct people as easy as possible. Okay, like you need to keep in mind, people are not majorly smart. Okay, so you by telling them exactly what they need to do step by step, that's how you're going to get the highest CTR. Okay, so click through rate. That's how you're going to get the most applications filled out. So if we look here, step 1, watch the video. Okay, step 2, fill out the application. Okay, all clean, blue, and then the button. Okay, if you take a look here, this was our button prior, a big red blob. Okay, click here to apply for mentorship. Yes, show me how to trade profitably. Okay, again, we're telling them what they want. Okay, so whatever your offer is or whatever industry niche, whatever you're in, I really, just try it, right? And see the improvements you have here. So much so, let me actually show you something. So this was the month before we started working together. Okay, now we can see here, these were their stats. They had a lot more page views, okay, which means that their content did a lot better that month. Okay, whether that be a YouTube video, Instagram, something or rather, but we still made literally 500% more, but that's besides the point. Their button rate, so how many people clicked the button and booked a call, was 10%. Okay, so that means that people that clicked the button and booked the call, only 10% of people did that. If we look at the stats that I literally asked my guy today, our VSL page had 579 views. Theirs had over 1,000, right? Typeform had 316 applications, okay? Calls booked, 57. Okay, so VSL to Typeform conversion is 54%, which is pretty good. Now, by the way, this isn't DQs. Okay, so we DQ a lot of people. Okay, so that's why that number is so high in taking into consideration how many calls is booked. So, because we DQ a lot. Because there's no point getting on calls with people that literally have $1 to their name, right? But our VSL to Typeform is 54% in regards to what it was before, which was about 13%. And that's because of this. Okay, so this was one of the first things that we did, and I hope you were able to gain some insight of how to make your websites better, because so many people just fucking suck. There's too much information, you're rambling on, the VSL actually just sucks, and it's just not great overall, okay? So now let's look for number 5. So let's talk a little bit about sales team. Okay, so by now we've done the organization. I have started scripting out all the videos, the main VSL, the post booking, absolutely everything. We've changed the VSLs as well. So this is just one of 3 landing pages that we have built. We've got the main VSL, which is what everyone sees. We've got the middle one, which is for the downsell, so the middle ticket. And then we have the post booking page as well. So there's 3 pages there. We've also got webinar pages and stuff like that, but we won't get into that too much. 4, sales team. So this is what our sales team actually looks like. We had the CSO, right, which is kind of this is sort of the hierarchy, but only these 2, not this. So CSO, sales manager, right, we do daily huddles. Now again, this is across all of the people that we work with. Okay, all of them. All right, daily huddles / team check-ins. That's daily, non-negotiable with every single person on every single sales team. Okay, this is why our sales teams perform, because we genuinely put a lot of effort in, and I pay my team extremely well to make sure that we can provide the best quality possible. Okay, my team is fucking dialed. They are so sick, right? They work literally 24/7, which is why we can get such crazy results. So CSO, sales manager, we do every 2 days roughly is sales call training or sales training. Every couple of days is call review training. And then we've got daily communication via the DMs. Now, for this offer, we have a closer with experience. We have a DM setter with $700,000 a month experience. So his last offer that scaled to over $700,000 a month. And then we've also got a dialer with experience. We're able to hire talented talent, okay, because we have proof of concept and because we genuinely care about the people that we work with, and we make our reps a lot of money. If you are a sales rep, right, there's an application down below. If you want to be on some of the biggest offers and managed by me, fill it out, okay? There is no one better or more valued on this team. What you'll find, and if you are doing this, in my opinion, you're making a mistake, right? I get that you think that the closers hold the most value on the sales team. You'll find that the people that you talk to that actually do this properly, that's completely bullshit. If we're going to give someone a value, it would be the setters are definitely the most valuable, okay? But on my teams, everyone's got the same value. The only thing that is different is, let's say there's 3 setters and 2 closers. Okay, the highest performing closer is going to get the highest amount of calls, and vice versa for the DM setters, they're going to be able to get the most DMs. Okay, but in terms of just like closer setter comparison, they're both equally valuable, right? If you're running an offer that's probably less than like 500 grand a month, you probably think that closers are more valuable. And trust me, you putting all your effort into closers is costing your show up rate, your close rate, Funny that it's costing you your close rate, and it's just ruining your entire culture. Okay, we train everyone to do daily follow-ups with everyone. We train everyone to manage their pipeline that they've built. Okay, each rep has their own pipeline that they need to nurture and take care of, which is how we can make a lot of money. Okay, and something else that I don't have here, but I'll talk about right now, we increase prices. Okay, which I don't talk about here, but this is something that I do want to quickly mention, is that with most of the people that we work with, we always increase price literally within the first 24 hours. Okay, we already increase it on our end before we even get on to actually start the offer. We do it in the build phase. But essentially when we come on, we change it for the partners as well. Now, we increase price here by $2,000, 2,000 buckaroons. Yeah, pretty fucking cool. They were charging, anywhere from like $4,000 to $5,000. We came on, we started charging $6,000, and then after the first week and a half, we started to do $7,000 because we were getting too many piffs. Right? So that's just something to keep in mind. Something that you also need to keep in mind is that your price is literally the thing that shows the value of your program. Right? In a sea of so many people within info and so many people within your specific niche or industry, right? Everyone's charging the same, which means everyone just automatically gets grouped in as the same. But as soon as you charge a little bit more, you automatically get into that exclusivity sort of area where people want to work with you more. Okay, I know it's funny, but essentially we're all humans and we always want things that we can't have, which is always the most, the baddest and best thing out there. Okay, again, I always use this example, but think about two shirts. If they're both black shirts, right? One is $5, one is $500, and they're both black. Which one do you think is going to be more valuable? You are always going to say the $500 shirt. You're going to say it's got better quality, it's made better, it's branded XYZ. You're going to think this is more valuable with no context, literally just because it's more expensive. Okay, now this isn't to say that everyone should increase their prices. If you are not confident in your sales ability and your systems on the back end, do not increase them because you are fucking stupid. Okay, if you do that, there's no point increasing if you can't already close. But across all of our offers, our sort of minimum short rate, this offer did 71%, which I don't know if I show here or talk about too much. But this offer did 71% sharp rate when prior it was roughly like 20 or 30%, right? And then we've got other offers that are in about that 80%, and our close rate on average, like the minimum is about 65% on average. Okay, so yep, cool. And before I talk about step 5, which is still on the sort of sales team side, again with the price, right? The easiest way to make more money is just charge more. Okay, and you hear it all the time. I promise you hear it. I fucking hear it all the time as well. And guess what? It's because it's fucking true. Okay, and the issue that most people have is that they literally don't do the math behind what it takes to make more money. Right? You say, yeah, I want to make 200 grand a month. What does it take to make that money? How many book calls? What's your show rate, close rate, average cash collection, right? What is the, people going from your page to VSL to application to book a call, right? What's that percent? And then getting actually qualified calls. What's that percent, etc., right? Because a lot of people say that they want to make, $200,000, right? But they don't actually know the numbers behind to get that $200,000, right? So the first thing that you guys can literally do right here is, I'll do it with you, okay? I'm literally going to do this with you, right? Let me just pull up my calculator, right? Let me share my screen. Okay, cool. So first thing that you guys need to work out is, what is your average cash collection? Now you should be able to see this on your sales stats already. Now, average cash collection isn't what you charge, it's what you collect on average. Okay, and this kind of determines what each of your calls are worth. Okay, it's pretty simple. So let's say that my average cash collection is 1,500. Okay, and I want to make 200 grand. Okay, I want to make $200,000. Right, my average cash collection is 1,500. I need to sell essentially 133 people, which is a lot of people, right? Do you think that you're going to be able to sell 133 people? Probably not. Okay, so now let's see if I want to make 200 grand, but my average cash collection is, I don't know, 4 grand. I need to sell 50. So do you see how much that's gone down? Okay, so chances are you might not actually even be charging enough to hit your goals, right? But this is different if I want to make 80 grand and my average cash collection is 1,500. I only need 53, which is still a lot, by the way. Okay, but basing it off these numbers. So that's a little bit of a tip for you guys for free because I don't sell anything. There you go. Keyword, if you want your sales to improve, to perform, alignment. Okay, you cannot expect them just to want to make you a lot of money. Okay, that's like a big mistake, and I see very often at the moment is a lot of people are complaining that there is no good sales rep, or that every sales rep is just offer jumping, or whatever it may be. Maybe it's because you're fucking shit. Have you thought about that? And you're probably going to be astonished, but we haven't had any reps leave us. We've had none. Why is that? Well, that is because we actually give a fuck and we have alignment. Now, not us expecting them to just want to make us a shit ton of money. No. Okay, but it doesn't need to be like that. We create alignment by this. Okay. They do want to make $100,000 in comms. They might not want to make you $1 million, but they want to make $100,000 in commissions. And the only way that they can make $100,000 in commissions is by making you $1 million. Okay, so there you just get alignment, right? So instead of just complaining constantly and telling your reps and telling people that we need to hit this $500,000 goal or this big picture goal, tell them their goal, okay? And then that'll just automatically translate to the money that you want to make. Okay, so I want you to make $500,000 in commissions this month. What is that, like $50 million, right? But more realistic is like, I want you to make, as I said here, $50,000 this month. $50,000 in commissions. That means that we would make $500,000. Okay, that number gets him excited. The big picture number doesn't. Okay, so whether you are a founder or a fucking CSO, COO, right, CTO or CEO, right, whatever the fuck you are, right, stop expecting people to want what you want and get into the sort of trenches of what they want. Okay, so this is a big thing that we focus on very, very, very heavy. Now, let's get into the fun things. Emails. All right. We do literal daily emails. Okay. Now this is some of the concurrent emails for this partner. Okay. You can see here 8th, 9th, we skipped one here. 11th, skipped one here. 13th, 14th, 15th. So we would typically do daily emails, right? I just remember at this time there wasn't a lot of content and we had just started. All right. But now we obviously do daily emails. And for this partner and most of my partners, we have emails set up daily for the next 15 days. Now he had an extremely dead email list. He literally didn't use it. Okay, now we send daily emails and we've made about $25,000 directly from emails, right? And then 100% of the people that have bought the program, the emails has contributed literally 100%. Okay. We do this for every partner. Put more focus, more docus. Put more focus on your emails and you will make more money. Like it is so simple and you hear all these people talk about it, but they don't actually tell you why. I'll tell you why. I give a lot of a shit about the close rate and the show rate. Sorry, mostly the show rate, to be honest with you. And a big reason to why we have a good show rate with all of our partners, even for the B2B partners as well, is for the fact that we are literally like spamming the shit out of the emails, like spamming the motherfuckers, right? I'm talking there's some days we got 2 emails going out, right? And we are fucking spamming them, right? But that's how you get a good show up rate. right? And I think the best way to kind of think about it is you want people to be as familiar with you as possible before they jump onto the call to the point where it almost feels like they know you. Okay, so I'm not spamming fucking client testimonies or results, right? Like, look at this. This email is what's green beautiful and took 11 years. Okay, this is why most traders fail. How to master ICT. Yo, keep this to yourself. What separates you from a millionaire trader, right? Just I'm building up the relationship, having fun, building the connection, showing who we are, people. So let's actually go into this. Force perspective, this is another partner that I work with, and these are the emails that I do for them. Okay, so we can see here 9th, 8th, 7th, 6th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. Okay, now this is just a screenshot. Right, you can see here 10,000 emails. Well, 10,000 people that I can send emails to. Okay, so we've got like a lot of people here, and our open rate at the moment is roughly about 20 to 35% on average at the moment. Okay, so just to show you that theirs is so low at the moment because they're they're fucking, it was so dead, right? Like their entire audience was just horribly dead. Okay, for example, with this guy, he was working with another group of guys before working with us, and they only had 736 emails, and they were getting a 48% show rate. Right, we literally increased the recipients by literal like thousands, and we still average a 29 to 30%, which means that we overall are doing like 10x better than what they are. Okay, so just as an example there. Right, but let's get into this. So how I used to make emails, handwrite every single one of them. Like you best fucking believe I'm handwriting every single fucking email and subject line. That's what I was doing. Now, I recommend you do this until you are working with a lot of people or until you like really want to scale. All right. Because you can't be that little flower shop, that's literally writing every single word if you want scale. That's just the truth. That doesn't mean the quality goes down. That just means that you substitute it with things that will make it a lot more efficient. So this is what I did when we were kind of scaling up, making a lot of money, but I was handwriting every single email while managing the entire team, building SOPs, whatever it is. How I make them now. Now I write them. So I write it literally like I'm fucking like, I'll write it like this. Let's say that we want to make an email about trading, right? This is kind of how I'll do it. Yo, right, out, name, okay? Morning to make shit. 56K this. So crazy to even say that. I'm not saying it out loud, but I'm gonna say it, right? Because I mean, there's probably like a strategy behind what I'm doing at the moment. Like it's probably called something, but I just write like a person, right? So literally all my emails, that yo thing, right? It's a beautiful morning to make a shit ton of cash. And I always laugh in my emails. Ha 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 ha. Right? 56K this morning. Wow. It's so crazy saying that out loud. Okay, like I talk like I'm talking in person, not talking via emails. Okay, and then what I'll do is once I have all of this, I will then now, copy it. Okay, I will then put it into this platform that I use. Okay, it'll then make me a fucking dialed email. Okay, it'll fill in all the blank spots. It'll fix up the spelling. It'll add in specific things about the partner that I don't even know. Okay, and it will create this generally good email based off of other world-class email marketers. Okay, then I will then cross-check it. Okay, then I'll then upload it. So now I use AI, but in a smart way, right? But yet still the quality is super dialed. I literally spent about $6,000. Yeah, my partner's in the other room, so I don't want her to hear. But about $6,000 on an AI tool to do this, right? Now, obviously, we're going to make a lot more from that, but at the end, it's like $6,000 on AI is a lot of money. But we keep that to ourselves. right? But yeah, right. So you get the idea. So that's how we do the emails, right? I hope you get a lot of context here. But not just like how we do emails, but we do emails to the people that we work with. And again, because we're talking about this specific partner, I'm telling you, we do emails daily for this partner. Okay, cool. And then the next thing, which is just the systems and the automations on the back end. Now, we are really dialed. Okay, like when I say we're dialed, I hire the best people that I can. And I know that everyone talks about A players and world-class players. And truthfully, I had hired a lot of bad people in the past for multiple different things, whether it be closers, setters, whatever it may be. But I have a really good fucking team right now, like a really good team, right? And my systems and automations guy, that is going to be my CTO in the future. I've already told him that. He's really fucking good. And we found him 2.5 weeks ago. Okay. But he builds everything for us now. This website, he built it. And he built this shit in like fucking 10 minutes, right? He knows how to use, he integrates AI. He uses N8N. He uses make.com. He uses Zapier, GHL, ConvertKit. Integrations, we don't even fucking know what they are. He uses them. Okay, so that's what we plugged and played into this partner. A lot of the backend automations are things like the typeform, so the routing. Now that's not necessarily typeforms, automations, but that is just dialed in routing. Another thing that we do is we have an automation on the back end. I think it's on GHL and Zapier, where they every single time someone fills out the application form, right, their email will then automatically get triggered, and that will then automatically get sent into our email platform into a sequence of emails, and then we'll send them about 15 days worth of emails every single time someone books a call. And it's just so easy, right? Like it's so streamlined, and it's like this with everything. Again, another example right here is this is one of our partners, right? We scaled him from 71 grand over $550,000 on our second month working together. And he built this, right? This is literally just a screenshot of the page, but it looks 10 times better than what I had prior. Okay. So yeah, I think what else do we use automations for? We use a lot of AI now, and we are only going to be using AI more just as like a value proposition as well. For when we want to work with more people, it's a really good value proposition. And I'm not talking ChatGPT, by the way. I'm talking like, real shit, right? But this is essentially how we, scale this partner up so quickly in such a small amount of time. Now, to me, this number isn't big, but it's good for the time that we were on in comparison to prior and prior and prior. But what is really cool is that this was in the build month. So this month, the first month of every partner that we work with is build out, where that's essentially where we're building everything to make sure that it's absolutely perfect for scale for next month. But this month, we still absolutely crush money, and we're going to do way more this month, which I'll share with you by the end of the month. So this was how we scaled this partner from about $20,000 to essentially a 2 point something million dollar a year business, 1.5 million USD, and like 130 plus revenue, etc. So instead, if you're someone that runs some sort of business, whether it be ecom, real estate, trading, whatever it may be, right? There's an application down below if you want to actually make a lot of money. Okay, we work with literally some of the biggest names in the world, right? Like literally the biggest people. We work with the most well-known traders. We have an agency that we work with that's doing about $4.2 million a month, okay, which is, really big fucking company. We work with really massive ecom people as well. And essentially this was like a tiny, tiny snippet into what we do. There's about 50 SOPs that go into each partner. There's about 1 million automations, about 1 million different things that go into it. But this was just a tiny little insight of what it's like to really make something cool. Okay, so I'm not going to bore you too much more. If you're a sales rep, you want to be on a good offer, there's an application down below. Okay, and if you are a business owner, you want to make a whole lot more money and get a whole lot more richer, then again, there is an application form down below. Feel free to check it out. But for everyone else, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you've got any questions, feel free to drop it down below. Let's make a shit ton of money. You know that the only videos I make are the videos breaking down where we make a lot of money. Go look at the last 5 videos that I've made. It is scaling a fitness guy, scaling Ecom, making 100 grand, making 500 grand, doing an interview. That's all I do. Okay, but being said, I hope you did enjoy the video. I really did enjoy this one. It was a bitch to fucking make though. Wow, look at all these shapes, man. Yeah, it's but it looks good at least for the eye. And the sad thing is, I'm never gonna look at this board again. But being said, again, I hope you did enjoy the video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.